Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too. A person at the jail, please state your name for the record.
Joshua Jarvis.
All right. These are the cases of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joshua Jarvis. Case numbers 261744 SM and 26245 SM and 261745 SM. Mr. Jarvis, did you have the opportunity to speak with somebody from the public defender's office today?
Yeah, I had the chance to when I passed on the opportunity.
All right. And did you read and sign an advice of rights form at the jail talking about your rights to an attorney and your rights to a trial?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you also met with somebody from Community Corrections Day, and I understand that you're unhoused. Do you not have a mailing address at all?
That is correct. I do not.
Do you have an email or a telephone number?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. In case number 26245 SM, it is alleged in count number 1 that on or about December 9th, 2025 in the city of Cadillac, Ms. Dahl, this says Walmart, but Walmart's located in Herring Township, not the city of Cadillac.
We will get that amended.
So, Mr. Jarvis, I'm going to amend you on or arraign you on what's in front of me right now, but at some point that's going to be amended. But that on or about December 9th, 2025, you committed the offense of retail fraud second degree while at Walmart. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail and or a fine of $2,000 or 3 times the value of the property taken, assuming the prosecutor can meet certain requirements. In case number 261745 SM, it's alleged that you committed the offense of retail fraud second degree in Herring Township of Wexford County. Ms. Dahl, this count has a typo as well. Walmart is spelled incorrectly. Walmart. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail and or a fine of $2,000 or 3 times the value of the property taken. In count number 2, it's alleged that you committed the offense of trespass while at Walmart. That is a misdemeanor punishable up to 30 days in jail and or a fine of $250. In case number 261744 SM, it is alleged that on or about January 29th, 2026, in Herring Township of Wexford County, it is alleged in count number 1 that you committed the offense of retail fraud second degree while at Walmart. Again, that is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail and or a fine of $2,000 or 3 times the value of the property taken. In count number 2, it's alleged that you committed the offense of trespass. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 30 days in jail and or a fine of $250. Do you understand those charges and the potential penalties?
Yes, I do, sir.
You do have the right to be represented by an attorney, and if you cannot afford one would be appointed to represent you, but you may be required to repay a portion of that expense. Today, Mr. Jarvis, do you wish to represent yourself, hire an attorney, or request the appointment of an attorney?
I'll represent myself, sir.
All right, before we can do that, I have to know that your waiver is voluntary, so I'm going to read a form to you to make sure that everything's on the up and up, all right? How many years of education do you have?
10.
All right. So this form says that I am the defendant in this case. The judge has explained to me, and I understand that I have been accused of a crime, and I have read or have read to me the charges against me and know the minimum and maximum possible sentences, the nature of the charges, and that there may be lesser included offenses, defenses, or mitigating circumstances. That I had the right to be represented by a lawyer at all stages of this process, and the court will appoint one for me at public expense if I cannot afford one. That I had the right to consult with a lawyer that I hire or that the court appoints. That I had the right to act as my own lawyer. That if I represent myself, I will be held to the same standards of law and procedure as a lawyer and will not get any special treatment from the court. The risks of being my own lawyer, including that a lawyer has skills and expertise that I do not in preparing for and conducting a criminal defense and trial, and that the state does have an experienced lawyer. Unlike the prosecutor in this case, I will be exposed to the dangers and disadvantages of not knowing the complexities of jury selection procedure or how to preserve my appeal rights. That because of these things, it can be unwise to act as my own lawyer. I knowingly and freely waive my right to the assistance of an attorney and choose to represent myself. I do not want to hire an attorney or have the court appoint one for me. I have no doubt about my decision. I have 10 years of education. I read and understand the English language, and I am mentally sound. Mr. Jarvis, did you understand that form as I read it to you?
Yes, I did, sir.
And having gone through that, do you still wish to represent yourself?
Yes, I do.
All right. So you do have the right to be represented by an attorney. And again, if you could not afford one, one would be appointed to represent you. You can request an attorney at any time. So if you decide at some point you no longer want to represent yourself, you can request the appointment of an attorney. And if this case goes beyond today, we will revisit that at each hearing we have. Today, you have a couple options available to you. One is to plead guilty. If you pled guilty to each one of these charges, each of the charges would enter on your record and you would probably be sentenced today. If you pled not guilty, we would set the matters for a pretrial, which would then give you the opportunity to discuss the case with the prosecutor and see if there's a way to resolve the case short of going to trial. Do you understand those two options that you have?
Yes, I do, sir.
So then turning to case number 261745 SM, this is the alleged shoplifting at Walmart on February 20th of this year. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And to the trespass, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right, then turning to case number 261744 SM, this is the alleged shoplifting second degree while at Walmart on January 29th of this year. To that allegation, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And to the allegation of trespass from that day at Walmart, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Then turning to case number 26245 SM, this is the alleged retail fraud second degree while at Walmart back on December 9th of 2025. How do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, Mr. Jarvis, in each one of these files, has anybody promised you anything in order to get you to plead?
No.
Has anybody threatened you in any way?
No.
And is it your own free choice to plead?
Yes, it is.
Back on each one of these dates, so December 9th, January 29th, and February 20th, were you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Were you on bond in any other file?
No.
Will you please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
You may put your hand down. Mr. Jarvis, in each one of these files, do you understand that you have the right to have a jury trial, the right to have witnesses called for your defense at trial, the right to cross-examine all witnesses called against you, the right to testify or to remain silent, if you do remain silent, not to have that silence used against you, the right to be presumed innocent, and the right to be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all those rights?
Yes, I do.
You understand that you do have that right to a jury trial, and that by entering a guilty plea, Today, you'll be giving up those rights and you won't have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
Ms. Dahl, are you aware of any promises, threats, or inducements not made part of the record?
I'm not, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Jarvis, then turning to case number 26245 SM. This is the allegation that you've pled guilty to, that you committed the offense of retail fraud second degree while at Walmart on December 9th of 25. I must have you tell me what it is that makes you guilty. So back on December 9th of 25, were you in the Walmart store here on the north end of town?
Yes, I was.
And did you either take or attempt to take some property that belonged to the store without paying for it?
Yes, I did.
Did that property have a value of less than $200?
Yes, it did.
And is it also true that you were convicted of retail fraud third degree from this court back on February 14th of 2024?
Yes.
Ms. Dahl, do you believe the defendant has provided a factual basis in which to accept the plea in 26245 and that the court rule has been complied with?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court agrees. I find the plea is knowing by, it looks like Trooper Patton, that you were not to be on the Walmart premises without authority.
Yes.
Ms. Dahl, do you believe the defendant has provided a factual basis in 2611744 to accept the plea to retail fraud second degree and trespass?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court agrees. I find the plea is knowing, voluntary, and accurate. Mr. Jarvis, in that file, I find you guilty of retail fraud second degree and trespass. Then turning to case number 2611745 SM. This is the retail fraud second degree and trespass that you pled to arising out of February 20th of this year. Again, I must have you tell me what it is that makes you guilty. So back on February 20th of this year, were you again at the Walmart store in Herring Township?
Yes, I was.
And while at that store, did you either take or attempt to take some property that belonged to the store without paying for it?
Yes.
And did that property have a value of less than $200?
Yes, it did.
Is it also true that you were convicted out of this court on February 14th, 2024 for retail fraud third degree?
Yes.
And is it also true that prior to February 20th of this year, you had been trespassed by Walmart or from the Walmart store by Trooper Patton, and that you were not to be on the premises without lawful authority?
Yes.
Ms. Dahl, do you believe that the defendant has provided a factual basis to accept the pleas in 2611745?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also believe the court rules have been complied with?
Yes, Your Honor.
As does the court. I find the pleas are knowing, voluntary, and accurate. Mr. Jarvis, in that file, I find you guilty of retail fraud second degree and trespass. Ms. Dahl, are we able to sentence today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, any allocution?
Yes, Your Honor. As to case, that case,
$46.99?
4699, correct.
All right, hold that thought. Mr. Jarvis, do you agree to pay restitution in each one of those amounts?
Yes.
All right, do you need those amounts repeated at all?
No, sir.
All right, fair enough. Ms. Dahl, you may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is his fifth, sixth, and seventh.
Mr. Jarvis, you have the right to address the court prior to sentencing. Is there anything you'd like me to know?
No, sir.
So you're agreeing to pay restitution. How do you plan to repay that restitution?
With my Social Security income.
How much do you get per month in Social Security?
Installment of $967.
And are you your own payee?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want me to know?
No, sir.
In case number 26245, the court is going to impose release. You're going to need to make contact with this court and get set up on payment plans. All right.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Next to Raymond.
Joshua stood in the court without a home. He faced the judge and took the plea alone. At the local Walmart store, he crossed the line. Now he owes some restitution and a fine. He pled guilty to the charges on the sheet, paying from his check to get back on his feet. Stealing from the store will always bring defeat.